Welcome back, true believers and spectacular Spidey fans, to another Spider-Man PS4 and Avengers project related video. This is a dual video talking about both topics at the same time, and a feature that I actually genuinely think could possibly be in the final product of the game. Of maybe even Spider-Man PS4, but mainly the Avengers project. So what I'm talking about, of course, is multiplayer. And of course, the footage that you're seeing right now is Avengers Battle for Earth. This is a fighting game that was on the Kinect for the Xbox 360. But this is just kind of background footage of what this main topic is going to be. And again, multiplayer is something that fans have been dying to see in a Spider-Man game, which, if you did not know, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions' original idea, the original concept that Beanox was trying to go for with that game, was to be a 4-player couch co-op or / online co-op game to play with your friends. But sadly, Activision did not give them the resources that they wanted to do that feature, so instead they just settled with a fully, totally awesome single-player experience. But what it would have been is that, say, for example, you were on the Carnage level in the Ultimate Spider-Man dimension, you could just do it by yourself as Ultimate Spider-Man, like the main game, or you could have been one of the 4 other Spider-Man and have that be up to 4 players. So all of the Spider-Man could have fought Carnage on that level. You could have had Ultimate Spider-Man with Spider-Man Noir, or Spider-Man Noir with Spider-Man 2099, or something like that, while fighting Carnage. All those cool combinations and possibilities could have happened in Shattered Dimensions if Activision did not lack the resources to Beanox. Because Beanox really wanted to be innovative with Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions and make it a really cool online experience game for everyone to enjoy. But again, Activision did not want to give them the money because they were focusing on Call of Duty, of course. Because what's better than Spider-Man? It must be Call of Duty, because Activision just loves that. But anyways, back to multiplayer, is that there can be one of two things going on in regards to multiplayer. So of course, what I mean is co-op mode. So co-op mode is a very popular feature in regards to a game which revolves around heroes. So what I mean by that is with Batman Arkham Origins, even though this might be a bad comparison, is that that game did have multiplayer, where Warner Brothers Montreal teamed up with a company to do the multiplayer for that game. I really am trying to remember what the name of that company was that did the multiplayer for Batman Arkham Origins, but it was Warner Brothers Montreal co-working with another company that did the multiplayer for that game. And what it was is that you each had 3 teams. There was 3 teams of people within that game. There was Batman's team, where you were Batman and Robin, and there was the villains, where you could be Joker or Bane, and also the henchmen, the main henchmen of both of those gangs. So there is a lot of different possibilities to happen in regards to that aspect, what they try to do for multiplayer, which is be a really cool, creative, dynamic multiplayer for both sides of the heroes and the villains to make it very appropriate and very fun and different for each of the players to feel like that they were actually affecting a certain team that they were fighting for. But in regards to Spider-Man PS4, again, we do not know if it will be a single-player game, a multiplayer game, a co-op game. We don't know. I'm assuming it will be a single-player game because, again, this is a AAA, fully exclusive Spider-Man game to the PS4. And yes, Uncharted does have fantastic multiplayer. That is a PS4 exclusive that has wonderful multiplayer, as an example. And Insomniac Games did do multiplayer in the past with Sunset Overdrive, where you had a co-op mode where you teamed up with your friends and did like a survival co-op arena mode to fight off against certain OD, other enemies within the city of Sunset City, and just take them out with your friends, which is really fun. And in regards to Tomb Raider, the game that Crystal Dynamics is famous for, or is known for doing recently, in both the Tomb Raider game that came out in 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider that came out in 2015, is that both of those had really interesting multiplayer modes, fighting against the hunters that you had to fight throughout the majority of the story of the first Tomb Raider game, the Solari, and you were Lara Croft with your endurance crew that you could fight them with. Same thing with Rise of the Tomb Raider. I did not play Rise of the Tomb Raider, but I am assuming that it was the same type of concept. You were both either a good guy team or a bad guy team, and you had to take each other out in a team deathmatch. Certain other modes, again, just like Uncharted does do in all the Uncharted games, except for the first Uncharted game where they had really cool, awesome, different, unique multiplayer modes to add to this feature. So again, how does this relate to Spider-Man PS4 and the Avengers project? Now, while it is everyone's dream to make Spider-Man PS4 a multiplayer/co-op game, I do not think Spider-Man PS4 will be that. Mainly because, again, Insomniac Games wants to make this a really, really, really special game for all of us fans to enjoy. Again, they are going to focus extremely intensely on Peter Parker, how he and Spider-Man and how their worlds are going to collide with one another. That is the main theme for this game. So, if they were to add a multiplayer, it would be freaking amazing, but I do not know if they would have the full-on resources to do that. They do have the resources available to them. However, it is their choice in what to do for the game. They can make it a fully multiplayer game, fully co-op game, full-on single-player game. Who knows? I, again, am assuming it will be a single-player game. I think it would be really great if that is the choice that they made. Just look at Ratchet & Clank, look at Resistance, look at Spyro, even though I think Resistance might have multiplayer sometimes. But again, Sunset Overdrive was the main game that we should be comparing to Spider-Man PS4 that had really cool, awesome multiplayer, that was co-op, and made you and your friends have really fun instances to fight against enemies with each other. Now, for the Avengers, this game will most likely, in my opinion, have multiplayer. And here's why. Crystal Dynamics has already done separate multiplayer modes for their other games. So, again, Rise of the Tomb Raider and the original Tomb Raider. And with that, they had really cool, innovative ideas and different modes that they used in that game. It was really awesome seeing that happen, to fight alongside your crew of the Endurance ship and also fight against the Solari henchmen of Matthias. And for Rise of the Tomb Raider, I'm assuming it was the same thing, just with different characters. The Trinity crew, I think they were called. And it had a lot of variety and different modes to offer for fans and different people who love to play online multiplayer matches in third-person action-adventure games. Again, like Uncharted. Uncharted, even though it has a really fully dynamic single-player story mode, it has amazing multiplayer as well. Uncharted's multiplayer is some of the best multiplayer I've ever played, especially in the fourth one. That one was, I think, the best out of the whole series. 2 was also really good as well, but I think 4 just nailed it. And Crystal Dynamics, again, if they say, because this is a very important factor, we are not going to get any more news until 2018 in regards to the Avengers project. However, we do know that they said in the description that you can play this game for years to come. That is really important. So again, having a fully infinite, seemingly never-ending story mode, sure, that could happen. But what if they mean that it could never end by using different multiplayer aspects? If you, your friends, and a bunch of other people online, whether that's co-op or multiplayer, couch co-op or online co-op, who knows, could fight alongside each other, taking out bad guys, or fight against each other, depending who the villains are of the Avengers project. Again, we know that the confirmed characters in the Avengers project is Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. The bad guys might be Hydra, might be, like you're seeing on here, the Skrulls. Could be, S.H.I.E.L.D. if they decide to even betray the Avengers, which I don't think that they would do. But there are a ton of different organizations, maybe Ultron, Thanos, the Guardians of the Galaxy's villains, the Kree. Any possibilities could happen for the Avengers project, and also Spider-Man PS4, because again, they are both original games. They're not tied into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're not tied in to any movie whatsoever. And they really want to make it a very dynamic event that these gamers can be loved for years to come. Again, Spider-Man PS4, you want to feel like Spider-Man. That's what that game is going to do. Just look at the cafe scene. Look at the scene where you see Spider-Man swinging, where he's on the car. All that stuff is what you would want to feel like if you were Spider-Man. And for the Avengers, you would want to feel like that you could be any of these Avengers. And if multiplayer were added into either of these games, it would be a dream come true. Would add a lot of variety for the players' playstyles and what they would want to do after they beat the main story of the game, and see what else is in store for the future of these games, since apparently they can be played for years to come, specifically the Square Enix games. For Insomniac, they're going to do a really awesome, engaging, and fully powerful story for Spider-Man PS4, so I think that would be good enough. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, True Believers. I'm sorry I didn't upload a lot of days earlier. I've been busy. But again, stay tuned for Bill Roseman's DICE panel discussion tomorrow. That is at 10 in the morning Pacific Standard Time to 10:45, I believe, or 11:45. It's going to be like an hour plus, I think. So just stay tuned. He might not even mention Spider-Man PS4, but I'm still hopeful. Let me know what all your thoughts are in the comment section down below, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Stay spectacular, everybody. Peace out.